on the platform. So there's some forms of nudity that you can't do.
Okay, so what kind of nudity is like too nude?
Right. So basically, I'd say too nude is probably like that one girl that was having sex on stream.
Oh yeah.
Or anyone having sex on stream, something like a penis or vagina, something like that.
Okay, so the actual act of having sex is probably not gonna fly.
Yeah, that's probably prohibited.
Okay.
So if you're a VTuber, you can't be like physically like actual. If you're in real life bouncing your tits at any point, it doesn't. It is not allowed.
Okay.
It's got to be something you like sat down and drew.
What's poppin', everybody?
Welcome back to the Cold Popcast.
I'm Zoe.
And I'm Steve.
All right, today we're going to be talking about Twitch's new policy that now allows for artistic nudity on the website.
So if you're not sure what artistic nudity means, we aren't either. That's why we're going to be doing a little bit of reading from some articles that we actually gathered some quotes from. But basically, Twitch announced sweeping updates to its sexual content policy and content classification system, which now allows prohibited content like illustrated nipples.
Ooh.
And erotic dances.
Nice. Whoa, okay.
Two of my favorite things, to be honest. I really like both of those things a lot. And it also is, they have also clarified what nudity is and isn't allowed on the platform. So there's some forms of nudity that you can't do.
Okay, so what kind of nudity is like too nude?
Right. So basically, I'd say too nude is probably like that one girl that was having sex on stream.
Oh yeah.
Or anyone having sex on stream, something like a penis or vagina, something like that.
Okay, so the actual act of having sex is probably not gonna fly.
Yeah, that's probably prohibited.
Okay.
But what is allowed is fictionalized drawings, animations, or sculpted renderings of fully exposed breasts and any butts or genitals, regardless of gender.
Oh, we're getting spicy.
Yeah, so we can see cartoon butts and genitals.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So as long as it's like animated or like, would AI generated tits count?
I think that's artistic.
Okay, cool. As long as I can, as long as I really thought it out before I did it, that's gonna be like cool.
Yeah, it had to be creative in some kind of way. Like it can't just be like what God gave you. It's got to be something you made.
Okay,
yeah.
You got to perform in some way.
Yeah, like you can be like a VTuber with your animated breasts out. But oh, actually, wait, no. There's another point. So augmented reality avatars that translate real life movement into digital characters must abide by the same attire requirements as regular streamers.
Okay.
So if you're a VTuber, you can't be like physically like actual. If you're in real life bouncing your tits at any point, it doesn't. It is not allowed.
Okay.
It's got to be something you like sat down and drew.
Okay.
Basically.
I can't wait to see how far people stretch the line of this because it seems like it's just like Twitch is just throwing out like some type like a tag, and it's like, okay, let's see how far people try to like go on this.
I think it's kind of crazy because it seems like Twitch is basically like willing to do mostly anything for money, but they just wait for the creators to push the line.
Well, I kind of think they're because I think now they understand like a lot of their creators at this point are very like mostly sexual or a good amount of them. It's like gaming. Twitch is known for gaming, but more so than that, I think now it's like e-girls and Twitch girls and stuff like that, and they all have a pretty good idea that most of these women are selling sexuality to some extent.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think in order to kind of defeat the backlash they would get if they just let these girls continue to go on while breaking the policy, they're gonna like start to blur the line a little bit for them.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you can have a little bit of nudity, it's fine. It's like, how far does it go? We'll decide once we see the content.
Right, like the fact that they're allowing erotic dances in the same category as they're allowing like basically hentai, like fictionalized drawings or whatever, some kind of like nude art.
Yeah,
it's interesting because they do have rules against. Basically, they said that female presenting human nipples must be covered. Cleavage is unrestricted. You can show as much cleavage as you want, but underbust is forbidden.
Isn't there like a whatever you want to call it, a Twitch girl or something that's like they started having a trend where they would just cover their nipples but have like the rest of their breast fully exposed?
Yeah. So Asian Bunny basically, she recently got banned for doing this exact same thing, but the rule came after that. But basically, she would sit with her breasts basically uncovered.
Yeah, just nude.
But the camera would stop like right at the part where the nipple would be.
Yeah.
And then whenever she got a subscriber, she would clap her tits together. I'm telling you, like 17,000 people were watching this.
That's correct. You know what's funny? Do you think she would get banned because like would you consider that art? I mean, it is pretty creative.
I mean, it says cleavage is unrestricted.
That's true.
So I don't really know.
No problem.
Yeah, maybe she slipped up one time in a little nipple show. Lizzie, you're our resident expert. Did she show any nipple?
Yeah, you know all about this.
But
I'm not the expert.
but I don't think she showed any nipples.
Okay. Yeah.
What was it? I lost my train of thought. Keep going.
Oh yeah, well, so I just found it funny that underbust is forbidden, like underboob. You can't see any underboob, but that's honestly like it makes sense because that is like
that's like the best part of the boob.
I was just gonna say like that is like the best part of the boob.
Yeah, like that's like the closest thing to just saying a fully exposed tit is when you have those girls that have those crop tops and it cuts off right when you see the underboob.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, hey, that top tier.
Yeah, it's definitely like fire. Leezy, scroll up a little bit. Let's see what the next point is. So basically, the new policy allows streamers to tag their stream for a variety of different depictions that will be in their stream. So like drugs, intoxication, excessive tobacco use, gambling, and sexual themes. So there's like all these different tags you can use now so that the homepage won't recommend you to people that don't want to see that.
Okay.
And I don't think it was like that before.
Yeah.
So raunchy content is allowed that wasn't previously allowed on the platform. And that kind of goes back to my point where I feel like platforms like Twitch, they're basically trying to monetize in the best way they possibly can.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're eventually like if they had it their way, it would basically be like being on one of those like cam girl sites where people can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But they know that wouldn't be accepted because kids use the website.
Yeah, that and the fact I think it's like you can only go so far before I think, the advertisers that like probably fund most of how your website is operating is gonna they're gonna pull out. So you gotta like kind of really ease into there. But I think they know at this point it's like, okay, we gotta like play ball to some extent. Without becoming Tumblr, I guess.
Right. Yeah. or like X basically.
Yeah.
X has like
yeah. X is just like, but Elon Musk is all about. He's just like, hey, screw you guys. We'll have all the porn we want.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't care what the advertisers think.
Yeah, he's cool with it.
But I did think about something. So it says streams tagged for mature games and profanity can still be included in homepage recommendations. But I wonder what they mean by mature games. Like, do you think people are going to be playing like those really like raunchy Japanese visual novels where it's like, like at the end of the game you get to have sex with one of the feminine heroines?
It's actually interesting, probably because I do know like there's some of those games like those hentai dating games or whatever, and I think now, because I never saw if they had to like censor some of like the scenes you would earn if you like court a woman. So I'm like, I wonder if now it's like those are gonna be like, well, they'll probably be just as popular, but now you don't gotta do half the work to like censor out the stuff you wouldn't show.
True. Yeah, I would say if anything, those games would be artistic at the very least.
Those would be like the prime example, I think, of what kind of content is like right on the line that they were drawing here. So it's like, it's artistic. It's something that, I wouldn't say like young people, but like a slightly mature audience that I think, between the age range that is likely on Twitch can like watch, and it's like acceptable without it being like explicitly just sexual.
What would you do? What would you do if you found your kids on Twitch watching hentai gaming?
I'd be like, next time close the door. Are you jerking off in here?
Yeah. You do that in the bathroom. So.
Yeah, like God's sakes.
Yeah.
Your mom's in the next room. Like, what's wrong with you?
No, she's playing with me, Dad. No. But anyway, so guys, let's close this out. I think we got pretty much the whole point of this, right?
Yeah, I think we covered it pretty good. Did they like videos?
Oh yeah, there was one more thing. So
Okay.
there's actually a lot of people getting banned off of Twitch right now because they took the artistic nudity thing wrong.
Okay.
Like Twitch wasn't
Really?
like they didn't just open the floodgate
Yeah.
and allow everyone to be just nude. But one thing that's happening is people are drawing. This headline says Twitch art streamers banned en masse as artistic nudity gets misunderstood.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so people are being banned basically because one thing is they were like drawing really graphic nude people like on Twitch, and that's artistic nudity, but I guess maybe it was just a little bit too graphic. Let me read this.
Yeah. I think Twitch may have like underestimated like how realistic art is becoming, or like how the skill set of these people that really want to draw porn.
Explicit they
how explicit they can actually be.
Right. Like if you're drawing like gangbang rape orgy or something, that's probably not going to fly, but
Yeah.
basically, so it seems like people just were getting banned because they weren't using the sexual themes label on the videos.
Oh, okay.
So it's like they were allowed to do it, but they weren't putting the right theme on there. And then also that thing with the VTubers that were, bouncing around in real life, like this. Yeah, just like this. The VTubers that were bouncing around in real life, I think they were banned as well because it's against the rules to like be getting all hot in reality while streaming.
That makes sense.
Unless you're doing an erotic dance, I guess that's
Yeah, it's like you can't just actually be getting off. Like it's got to be some entertainment. That like, are you doing this for you or us?
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Yeah, and I actually read something somewhere. They were saying like pole dancing is acceptable
Right.
because
Yeah, I was
like if
gonna
you're
mention
in
that,
like a
like-
pole dancing class and you want to stream the pole dancing class,
I'm all for
Yeah.
you
it.
can do that.
You know what's
Pole
acting?
dancing, twerking
Yeah.
is now
Yeah.
acceptable
Yeah.
on the platform.
Yeah,
I
I
like
think
twerking.
I think we just gotta accept the
Innovation.
fact that like everything eventually turns into porn. So it's like
It always ends at pornography.
yeah, like that's the natural end to everything that mankind creates.
Yeah.
So it's like because the hot tub, hot tub streams, it's like the idea is like, oh, I can just, why not just hang out, with your people in a hot tub and have a podcast, and then, now it's just women in bikinis and
Just making out.
yeah, in hot tubs. Same thing because I actually know girls that do like the recreational pole dancing stuff. So it's like a form of expression in yoga or whatever the heck they want to call it, like just dancing. But
It's a form of
eventually it's
exercise.
yeah, exactly. But eventually it's gonna just turn into women in bikinis on poles and then no bikini.
Yeah. And
you
then
know?
men get to benefit at the end of the day because this world is ours.
Exactly.
All right?
We win at the end. No matter how this goes, we still win.
All right, so let's close it out, man. I want to make sure everyone is aware that we'll be doing more My Black Friends live streams quite frequently as possible. Maybe not every week, but at least once a month we'll be doing My Black Friends live streams. We're actually doing one today at the time of recording this episode, which is around the 14th of December. You can find us on all social media platforms for updates about that content and our current content, whatever content we're producing on The Cold Podcast on all social media platforms. There's also audio and video on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you can find audio or video
say Stitch?
podcasts. Stitcher.
Oh,
Stitcher.
what's
There's
that?
an
Is
app
that
called
what?
Stitcher.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just mispronounced Twitch.
like Pocket Casts and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's also our Patreon. $5 a month will get you access to the entire backlog of My Black Friends podcast. You can see all the videos we're reacting to and have a lot of fun with it. So the live streams will be live on YouTube, but we're going to figure out how it's separated for Patreon. Maybe we'll just give you guys a little bit of a taste, but we'll find out in the future how that works. Thanks for popping in, and we got to pop out of here.
All right. Peace.
やめてください